I have been waiting for this. Did you know that this is the first time that I make a video just when the set comes out? And it is with Strixhaven. What a cool set. Well, this is exciting because with the set review done, I will have a lot more to say on these, but will still keep it short and tasty for you. Welcome to Slow Unpacking, where we unpack the flavor of the packs while actually tasting the story. Relic Sloth by Ilse Gort. Flavor: when it comes to transporting priceless delicate artifacts, safety is more important than speed. Relic Sloth is definitely a storm creature that almost forces your opponent to hold back 2 creatures with its 4 power. 5 of these attacks will kill you, while also staying vigilant. Now the flavor here is beautiful too. We see this friendly sloth that has to be scary to ward off small creatures, hence the menace. Then it has to be careful and slow so that it can travel these dangerous lands, vigilance. Note in the art the little statue buried beneath the sand and the stargate off in the distance to the left. Then look at these humans for skill. This sloth is massive. And it is a sloth. So that is why it is slow and safe, more than it is speedy. That is really cute, right? Want to ride a giant sloth together? Arcane Session by Marta Nael. Flavor: the only thing more delicious than a top grade is Gyeong's signature cake. We have all been there, the day before the test, and we have not studied enough yet. So we eat some special cake and suddenly we are able to go all night. Do you see the frenzy this Witherbloom student is in? That is a sign of being laser focused. Of course, I am Dutch, so maybe this is why this relates to me so much. As you can see, Witherbloom students have a very special way of studying. Gyeong is a student that is mentioned a lot, so let's learn about Gyeong from these packs. Here we learn Gyeong bakes great special cakes. We might be able to form an actual character from these flavor texts, which is really fun to me. Lash of Malice by Slawomir Maniak. Flavor: the strongest shadow spells come from disdain for someone else, not frustration with yourself. By Ambrose Silverquill Dean. All main students of Strixhaven have a mixture of both colors, but need to find their own balance in both. Killian's balance is between the insults of black and his father Dean Ambrose, or encouraging his friends with white. Here you see him despise someone else, but still making the spell one of his own by giving the creature he hurts power too. A struggle in the mechanic itself. I feel like this card will be a great removal spell in Limited, and look at the cool pen statue in the background too. Stonerise Spirit by Uriah Voth. Flavor: the carved cliffs of Pillardrop thrum with the sounds of ancient spirits rising from the past. Can you imagine the sound that spirits make when they awaken? Me neither, yet. But I feel like it must sound like stones scratching against each other, followed by a very deafening bass. This particular spirit must make a lot of sound as it is a statue that can fly. Pillardrop is the site that Quintorius works in and where he eventually will find more about his own history. Apparently spirits can awaken each other sometimes, and that is where these sounds come from. Now there are many amazing pieces of art in this pack, but this is my second favorite because of the energy from this and the wisps of ghostly energy emanating power from them. Uriah makes amazing characters with perhaps a toony but also serious and almost edgy feel in them, just like with this owl. Also, someone made a statue of this owl, so you must wonder what it has done in life. Who would you like to build a statue of? Tome Shredder by Sam Rowan. Flavor: Quintorius. Would you care to explain why you didn't complete your homework? By Augusta Lorhold Dean. The wolf ate my homework. I promise that it is true. If Quintorius had been looking out for opportunities, he would have known that this dog could have been his homework, as he seems spirit-like. It is funny that Augusta is in this flavor, as she believes that history repeats itself, so she thinks nothing new can come in the future either. This wolf likes to prove the opposite. It It is also funny that this card nods to Lorehold, while it actually synergizes with the spells from Prismari more, showing us that sometimes the different schools can work together. Tangletrap by Suzanne Helmigh. Flavor, it's like that old saying, what goes up feeds the Arbitorium, by Lisette Witherbloom D. Tangletrap kills all Elder Dragons. We even see it catching a lesser dragon here. Also note that the Stargates in the background are there again, showing us that this is a card in the wilds. Elder Dragons do have to watch out in these woods. Now, Lisette is the demon of Witherbloom that stands for life over death. Still, when life can feed life, Lisette might turn a blind eye. I think it is lovely to think that Lisette hopes that one of the elders will be caught in a Tangletrap one day, just to feed the Arbitorium. Arcane Subtraction by Anastasia Ovchinnikova. Flavor, the class learned little that day. They learned what little is today. And this is pretty hard for Quandic students that just want to grow stuff. Learning little is for Quandic students like learning about the blind spots from your main talents. It is less fun to learn that way, but really effective. To learn how to grow something to massive sizes, you might want to look at making it really small first. This is why this is more of a lesson than an actual spell. The card is still useful as a combat trick, but it is mostly story or joke driven. Leech Fanatic by Sean Sevestre. Flavor, everyone thinks that leeches maintain a strictly sanctivorous diet. But in fact, most freshwater leeches are carnivores. Wait, where are you going? A Silver Quill student that likes leeches, which is more Witherbloom's cup of tea. This fanatic is just really enthusiastic about leeches and really wants to talk about them. She is also showing us once again that some people from different schools can work together. She gets lifelink like her leeches would get. Do not let yourself get attacked by her. She is wearing more Witherbloom-like clothes too, which I like, as it further drives home the point that some people are less about life or words, but just have their own passions, and would give everything to follow and share that passion. Fractal Summoning by Livia Prima. Flavor, fractals are just pseudo-dimensional manifestations of asynchronous biosymmetries. It's really quite simple. By Kian Quandrixstein. Fractals can be anything, as long as they are a part of the whole and they seem always inspired by nature. The colors here are beautiful and a little cold, or at least it seems that way. I believe that ice is more of a Prismari thing, but perhaps Quandrix uses it sometimes as well. The flavor says that fractals are half-dimensional abnormal normalities. It is quite simple what Kian is saying, because she just says that it is weird that these can exist, and that fractals seem to go against logic. So just make something illogical and you can make your own doggo friend. Academic Dispute by Manual Castañon. Flavor, I'll show you original research, you hack. Mages on Strixhaven often fight to solve disputes, showing the other students which magic is the most potent. Here we see the history against math battle, pretty epic, where we are on the side of Lorehold this time. The Lorehold mage is defending his point of view, where you should research the original texts instead of making up new theories, thereby directly fighting against the blue of Quandrix and forcing them to block with their counter-argument. Red can be against new things apparently, but only in this case, because they are so passionate about history that they believe that that's what should inspire your action. Deadly Brew by Randy Vargas. Flavor, no one ever asked what was in Dinah's concoctions, so long as they worked. Dinah seems nice. She wants to help others often, but that is just because she seems to enjoy life. In her story we learned that her home forest has been cursed and that everyone was hit with melancholy. She was saved by Dean Lisette, but she might never be the same. Now Dinah is a little changed in the head. She might seem nice, but sacrifices life just as easily. But in her heart she wants to save life. But then she wants to use it too. And here she is making a deadly brew. But just to save another creature, right? And she's only sacrificing a pest, right? Right? Rootha, Mercurial Artist by Chris Rahn. Flavor: art is never finished, merely abandoned. We often talk about names fitting the card, but Rahn is a pretty cool name for Rootha. Rootha's struggle between colors has been that she is born to make big spells, but her mom was great with delicate art. Now Rootha wants to make more explosions. You can see from her flavor that she prefers the red side of creativity, because she always says that it is never finished. Although she will want to recreate and alter her art like a blue mage still. Mechanically, she goes back to study and gives you a spell back while doing her research. Then she says art is never finished, and that hit me personally. Art is never finished. These videos can always be better. But what could I have done better other than just stay in this creative flow? Go slower next time? Put in more passion? I want to learn from Rootha. Exponential Growth by Izzy. Most Quandrix students fundamentally disagree with the concept of enough. Look, this is the actual talent of Quandrix students. Making stuff unnecessarily big. Someone said we missed big creatures in this set, which is insulting to Quandrix. They have been working on this stack and trying to make it larger than a building. 4 mana doubles the size, 6 quadruples, 8 mana octuples your creature, which is a really fun word. Nothing is enough for Quandrix mages, but if you actually want to learn about shapes, you might have to look at relation more. Green is all about making things real, while blue is about theory. Here we see a very practical side of Quandrix, where they use their fractal magic to make real creatures grow. By learning how to make these fractals, Quandrix students learn to manipulate the whole. Duress by Cristina Colantes. Flavor: magic brought peace to the Fastlands, but was soon corrupted. In The Mystic Age, a saga of spells. Magic brought peace to my life too, then it was soon corrupted. The more I look at this card, the more I like it. I know that these alternate versions are controversial, but this makes me want to say this is my favorite art from the pack even more. At first, the person in this art felt like a moth, with the hands above being its antennae. Maybe she was drawn into the magic like a moth. Then I saw that they gave knowledge to this person from above. Then I realized that they were actually taking knowledge because this is duress and leaving the gift of power, but leaving this woman empty-souled. Now Cristina Colantes is something else. I have looked at her art now for the first time and it shows us the insides of our minds already. The characters are at first needlessly complex, and then we start to notice that we recognize their emotions. Just look at the art of forgetting and tell me that you are not inspired to look up more of Christina's art. I often forget things as well. Necro Blossom Snarl by Sam Burley. Flavor: a hungry lair of flourishing rot. Now, even after my set review, snarls are really hard to say. Snarls are a mystery to me. What I know is that snarls are the combination of the magic from the paired colors, and from these snarls, the elder dragons were born. Now these snarls still manipulate the lands in some way. This one in particular seems to eat everything, and then flourishes itself. Just like Muldrotha. Aside from that, this art is amazing from Sam. It feels dead and alive at the same time. Then the land is very strong if you ask me. But the art is actually more impressive. Without seeing this art, I could not think of a way to make a ball of life and death. Fractal Token by Andrea Saveratos. We have seen a little bit about fractals in this pack already. We have seen Quandrix making things little, and then we have seen them making things colossal. Now, a fractal means something in between. It is a part that could either be as colossal as the multiplication, or as small as the subtraction creatures we have seen Quandrix make before. Like I said, fractals are a teaching method for Quandrix students, to learn how to manipulate life in practice. What is more Simic, Quandrix, than that? Hey, thank you for being here. You are actually amazing for being here. Did you know that whenever you watch someone's video, you get a little stronger? Yeah, stronger in the mind. So thank you for training with me, young Skywalker. Become stronger, you will.